take the sight off of the bow and put it down beside me on the table, and I would say I'm using the force, but by then she didn't have a choice. She had to take me to this tournament because at that point there was only 2 women in the club, and it was the minimum that you could take to this tournament. So we all packed up and went to this tournament in Barrie. I think it was Barrie, and it was already kind of set up for failure because we had all been practicing using long bows, and the long bows we were using in the club were an unbelievably low draw weight, which will be explained in the episode. It's how much force you need in order to pull back the string. So we had all been using something ridiculously light, probably, something like 12 or 15 pounds or something like that. And then we ended up with all switching to use bows that took twice as much effort to draw back the string than we were used to, with just one day before this meet. Anyway, so we went to this thing, and she pulled me aside and she said, I only brought you here because you were the only other woman on the team, and I begged the girl that quit the team to stay so that I wouldn't have to bring you here. And so you're just here on a technicality. And I said, okay, so basically I can just have fun with this then. And I took my glasses off and, put them in my back pocket. And I took the sight off the bow and I said, all right, I'll use the force. That I went out there and I hit the bloody bullseye.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
It's just, she was so angry. She was so angry. And, I didn't win very much for it. I think I won a coffee crisp bar. So our American audiences, I don't even know if you know what this is. It's a chocolate bar that has coffee flavor in it. And anyway, I won this stupid chocolate bar for hitting the bullseye. But I think it was just one of these memorable moments where it was, yeah, I'm going to use the force in that. That was classic.
We had a little bit of a technical glitch. It looks like the stream was going, but for some reason it wasn't live. So apparently we only ended up going live about 5 minutes ago, because the go live, for some reason, we lost the stream. And so up until about 3-4 minutes ago, apparently we were not live.
We were not live until 5 minutes
ago? It was live,
so
but it wasn't actually on the stream. So we had 3 viewers that we lost them. So I apologize to all of you over that. So we are as.
So do you want to just close it and start over and put a new one up there so that they will see and they'll get notified?
Well, it'll create a yeah. I'll.
Because it's not even going to save the file then.
No, not in this. Well, it will. It just, once it started streaming, it's just.
Yeah, so it's only going to save it. It's going to save it when I was telling the archery story, but out of context.
Oh, well, it got the beginning of the archery story. It just, we just went live. So we're still, there's another thing that I wanted.
Oh, so you're still recording?
No, we're live. We've been live for a while. It's just.
Oh, okay.
It was streaming, but for some reason it was not actually sending the signal to YouTube.
But did it saved all of the other stuff that we talked about the French programming and everything else?
No, that didn't go live.
But did it save? Is it going to be in the version that saves and then posts to YouTube after?
No.
Okay, then my question is, do you want to start over so that the shout-outs and all that work, and I'll just...
No, that's okay. Let's let's keep the stream
Okay.
going because the system is new and, it is what it is.
Okay. So then, for those of you that didn't see what happened earlier, because of technical problems on our end, we were talking about French and the archery coach that I mentioned in the story, that she got so angry because I said I was using the force. She was my and that was sort of an ongoing thing between me and her. She was my French teacher, and I was hopeless at French in high school. And then she ended up pulling me aside during the final exam and telling me that she would give me a higher grade on my final grade if I promised not to take her 10th grade class. And um, so that's the story behind why I'm still working on my French now, and why I'm proud to announce that there will be a different host for the French version of the show that we are working on right now. And so, Cory, I'll let you
Yeah, yeah,
tell the
absolutely.
audience a little bit more about Mel and how that got
Yeah.
started, and some of your background in French
Okay,
television.
well, first I'm just going to start, and there's a couple of things that I want to let people know as we're kind of getting in with the stream stuff as we're going through some growing pains. First, if any of you, we've had a couple of streams where people, because you can chat, like there's a YouTube live chat and we can see it. Now, there's a couple of things that we're waiting on, the first of which being a teleprompter. So the way we have it set up, the way I have it set up at my house, right, because we're not doing it in the studio. Right now, I actually can't, because I don't have the teleprompter set up yet, I can't actually see any of the chat. So if any of you are concerned about either of us ignoring you, that is absolutely not the case. In about a week or so, we'll have that set up, a week or two, so that you can chat and we'll be able to respond. The other thing too is, so it'll be a lot more interactive. The other thing is we'll have the switcher in the stream deck, so we'll be able to rock from angle to angle, which you may be more used to as we would do in the television studio. So it'll be a lot more polished and a little less drone. All the audio problems we've got dealt with. In this particular case, instead of having it run all the way through the switcher, we've just got it running through the Blackmagic converter. But because we have a slightly refined setup in this case, I had to get everything set up, and then in this case, it was actually me. I forgot to hit the go live button. So we were streaming and we were getting everything on YouTube, but once everything is streaming from the software and you're live, you still have to hit this little button in YouTube that says go live. So you actually have to hit go live in a couple of different places, and that was actually on me. They make it a little hard to find. So, we'll get there. I'm a little frustrated with myself, but it's early on.
And I got the headphones
Yeah.
here to deal with some of the audio drops that I was getting last week on my little Chromebook that is trying. And ironically, I'm not getting any of those audio problems today, but I've got the headphones as a backup. And this,
We've
my
only done, I think, 2 of these now.
cup of water.
Yeah, because we've only done 2 of them.
Last time I was coughing up a
Yeah.
storm.
Well, now the audio and everything is set up live when you're on the clock. There's always something. We had a couple of people waiting, and then I guess they thought, oh, well, obviously they're not broadcasting, even though we are. But rest assured, we are always going to be here every week at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. And just this particular day there was a different setup and I forgot to hit the button, which I normally don't do. So if you can bear with us, come with us next week. And, as I say, things will improve over time. So now that we're back live, there's a couple of things that I wanted to mention. which I mentioned earlier, but now that we're live again, I can mention them. The first is make sure to tune in to us if you have the Game Plus network. I mentioned this last week, but we have our Canadian national premiere, so we're airing in Canada now. In addition to the United States, we are airing on the Game Plus network, so you can watch that on Videotron, Bell, Rogers, SaskTel, pretty much every major carrier in Canada has it. We are also going to be appearing on the Rod Peterson Show on Monday morning, because we are premiering Monday night at 6:30. So Go Nitro will be running at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time every Monday on the Game Plus network. So make sure that you don't miss that. And of course, we are running in syndication across the United States on ABC, CBS, CW, Fox, and now NBC stations. We have a few new stations to announce shortly. And the other thing that I wanted to mention as well is, if you have any ideas or anything that you would like to see on Go Nitro, this is the chance to talk to us, because we can see your chat and we want to hear from you. So wherever it is that you are viewing Go Nitro from, don't be shy. Talk to us in the chat, and you never know, might wind up in an episode. We do have to crank out a new episode every week. And one of the reasons that we were talking about archery is that is actually the episode that we just finished. So that will start airing on Fox and ABC, CBS, probably in the next couple of weeks or so. We'll be a little bit delayed on Game Plus, because we've been running on the air in the United States for a year, and here in Canada it's behind, right? Because it's new. It's new in Canada, but not new in the United States, so they'll air a bunch of episodes and get caught up. The other thing that I wanted to do was just a little bit of a plug. Please, by all means, subscribe. It really helps us out to subscribe, and it helps us as we progress. We do put clips and things, and as I say, we'll be here every week. And the other thing that I want to make sure that all of you know is to make sure that you go to gonitro.tv, so you can see little bits of the episodes, and we put all the news and everything that we're doing for the show there. So gonitro.tv, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel there as well. There is a subscribe button right on the site, so you don't even have to go to YouTube and all that. It'll just do it like that. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that we are working on, well, we've actually already started production on it. Alex Tagliani, NASCAR, is going to be joining us again. We are doing the French version of Go Nitro, Premier Jeu. And we are very, very excited about that. Some of you may know this, some of you may not. I actually worked quite extensively in French language programming in Quebec. So I worked with those of you, and it feels a little weird talking about this in English, but yeah, so La Tête en l'air I did with Caen, which, is close to 1 million views. And I think Musique Plus ran it and all this. I also did En Histoire Racontée with Danny Bedard, although for those of you Gen Xers, 40 up, you would probably know them as La Chicane. So basically, Caen is La Chicane minus Danny Bedard, because Eric Meilleux and Steve Vieux and Patrick and all the guys, they were La Chicane with Danny Bedard, and then Danny went off and had a solo career, and then the remainder of everybody did Caen. So I really miss working in French television, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. And our host for that is the one and only Mel Gibbs. So Mel is the one and only for that. So as we move along on that, we'll have that's pretty exciting. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So, Em, is there anything you wanted to add? Should probably wrap this up.
I'll try. Yeah, sure. Well, we're talking about how bad I was at French earlier. I'll try saying one thing in French, and we'll see how that goes. Bonjour, Quebec. J'aime beaucoup la belle province, le restaurant, et la belle province du Québec. How did I do with that, Cor?
C'est la raison pour Mel. That's the reason for Mel. It's okay, but I don't think it'll fly on French TV.
No. But you know, if everybody makes fun of me, I won't do it.
No. Well, we'll just work on your accent and your grammar. You'll get there. There's no reason why you can't be fluent. You can.
True. And then I'll work on the accent after that.
Yeah, we just won't have you hosting in French right now. I think we'll leave that to Mel. We'll leave that to Mel.
That's what I started with.
Yeah.
I started on camera.
Yep.
I started on camera, and I never actually planned on hosting, and so I am cool with slipping back into that comfy old pair of shoes and grabbing a camera.
Yep, absolutely. So.
And it'll be nice to not have to worry too much about the makeup and the Spanx and the Chinese corset.
Yeah. It's a different kind of import. All right, well, still some growing pains, but we did make it on the air. So thanks for joining us, everybody, and bearing with us. There will eventually be less apologies and more excitement. Please make sure to join us next week at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Pacific, for us live here. And I won't forget to hit the go live button this time, so we have half a broadcast. So I'm man enough to admit my mistake. It's just one of those days. So yeah, so that'll pretty much wrap things up, I would say. Em, is there anything else you wanted to add before we sign off?
No. I mean, this has basically been like a little sort of test and a preview of things to come. We were going to do a little bit on hockey equipment last week, and so I think I'll save that for next week.
Yeah, let's save it for next week because
there's some technicals. Yeah, and you know what? I'm hoping that I can procure something to demonstrate some of this equipment, and so I have some ideas for some props that I might be able to show to demonstrate that, and hopefully they won't be too ghetto.
Yeah. No, and we'll get into all that next week. So what we'll do is, I guess Em and I will sign off for now. Click subscribe, smash that subscribe button. If for no other reason that we don't open up every video with, hey, you guys, what's up? Which I absolutely hate. And we will see you next week at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Pacific. All right, everyone, have a good one, and we'll see you next week.